Hello everybody, welcome to a new video of JMSpeedshop. After some time, first review of this year at henkgrooten. Got a W123 CE, so a coupe. So we're going to do a review about this car, do a little test drive about this W123 model. Take a good look around this car. Show you all the nice details of the W123, some information about the model. So let's go. So the W123 model came after the W114, built between 1976 and 1986. The coupe was built between 1977 and 1985. After 1985 the W124 came, of course. So this is a very nice example. It's a European model from Sweden. It has only done 60,000 kilometers in the very nice color 877 petrol green metallic. Very good condition. The nice original, yeah, how you call it in English, in Holland is kroonkurkvelgen. So it would be somewhere similar to it. So this car is like spotless on the places where normally a W123 will rot away, like on the wheel wells. Around these points is always very bad. This car is just, look, it's like new, never been welded on it. I drove a 123 for 5 years on LPG, like 10 years ago. Every day I had it like a sedan car. So these particular models were delivered in a sedan, a coupe, a station wagon, a limo version, so that had a little bit longer wheelbase with 4 doors, and then you had a stretched version, and of course you also had the longer station wagons that were used for like ambulances and that sort of stuff. So wide used car. So this car is on the original, what is it, 14-inch wheels. Have a look if I can find it. Yeah, 14-inch wheels, 195 tires, 70 high, so it's a pretty high tire. Also in the front, of course, it had already disc brakes in the front and in the rear. Much brands were still doing it with drum brakes. Also wipers on the front, pretty luxurious. I think that's an option. The color is just very nice. Also this car has velours interior, so that was, I think, the most expensive option, because you had the normal fabric interior, then you had the Mercedes text, that's like fake leather, then you had leather, and you have this velours. It looks like Pullman interior. Very nice light color, still in good condition, no damages or spots in it. With this light interior color you most think that would be the case. So very beautiful. So let's have a look in the trunk and under the hood. Boot space, a little bit of stuff in it, a little bit of details. It's also a sunroof, so there's a sunroof plate you can have on the roof. But normally it's pretty big boot for a car like this, like 500 liters of boot space, so pretty big. You also have, of course, a spare wheel. I cannot show you because there's some stuff in it, but very nice big boot space. So this is also a CE, so it's an injection car. The E stands for that. So let's have a look under the hood. So this is the M110 6-cylinder inline engine. Mercedes used this engine from 1972 till 1989. It's used in various models like W114, the 123, the 116, 126 and the R107 SL and the G-klass, the W460. So this engine came in two versions, with a carburator and with Kjetronic injection. Kjetronic was available from 1975, but not in this model. I think Kjetronic came in this model from 1978. So the first versions all had a carburator. This is 1981. So this has Kjetronic injection. So a lot of space in this engine base. So it's a dual overhead camshaft engine, but it only had 2 valves per cylinder. So it's a pretty weird design. So they stepped over from a single camshaft with 2 valves per cylinder to a dual camshaft with 2 valves per cylinder. Later on they got back to the M103 that came after this engine, and that had a single camshaft with 2 valves per cylinder, and later on they got to the multi-valve dual camshaft engine, the M104 models. So Kjetronic also has cruise control on it. It's like with a vacuum chamber. Pretty nice option, of course. Pretty clean. Normally you see completely damaged hood liners in there. This one is in pretty good condition. Very, very nice car. So this particular model delivers 185 horsepower and 240 Newton meters of torque. The versions with the carburetor version had 177 horsepower and 234 Newton meters. So I think we should do a test drive in this beautiful version. So let's have a drive. And this is 123. About 10 years ago I drove a 123. I had a 230E for about 5 or 6 years, maybe longer. I drove it as a daily. It was a manual. This is an automatic transmission. So starting very good, very easy, no throttle, don't need anything. 4-speed automatic transmission. Sounds very nice. So let's have a go. Big steering wheel, very big. So the CE came in like, you can say 4 different models. There were before 78 and after 78. There was a difference in the engines having a carburetor or Kjetronic injection. And you have only the 2 engine versions, 230 and a 280 model. So this is the 280 model. This is the like the most powerful version, you could say. So you had the 230 model was the base model, and the 280 came after it. And from 1978 they got Kjetronic injection, and the power got from 177 horsepower to 185 horsepower, and the torque level was raised by 6 Newton meters. The maximum torque level was 4,500 RPMs, and the power delivery was at 5,800 in this version, 185 horsepower, and in the older version with the carburetor it was at 6,000 RPMs. So it's a pretty high revving engine, you could say, for this age. The way it's driving on the road is very like classic. It's a little bit floaty, I could say. So nice oil pressure maximized in the corner, like 3 bars maximized. So these sensors are only doing 3 bars max. But you should first do it a little bit easy on it. So this car is from 1981, delivered in color 877, petrol green metallic, very nice color combination with the light cream beige interior in the Faloose version, so that's I think the most expensive version. I think this was like 1800 D-marks, so in today's money that would be in euros like it's like 50% of what the euro is now, so that's like 900 euros, and in dollars it would be like $1,000. So these cars came on the market as a price range of 37,000 D-mark in 1981, and the 280CE was 6,000 D-marks more expensive than the version above. So you could say that's a sixth of the price more expensive to step it up from a 230 to a 280 version. So 230 had like I think 105 or 130 horsepower, something around that number. I think around 100 horsepower. So yeah, 185 horsepower is still nice for a 1450 kilo car. So pretty nice example. So this car had also electrical seats, or I mean heated seats in the front. It has manual windows, so not electrical windows, but it had an electrical sunroof and Faloose interior. So I think it's weird that you don't put like electrical windows in a car like this, but still very nice car. Delivered in Sweden originally, so it's a European edition. So also European headlights, of course. Also nice to know about the W123 model that it's built between 1976 and 1986. 2,686,915 cars were produced in those 10 years of production. So the coupe was built between 1977 and 1985. Also the sedan was built up till 1985. Only the TE version, so the station wagon, was built in 1986. Because in 1985 the W124 was introduced. So you had the 190, so the W201 was introduced in 1982. So you had on the market then the smaller model in 1982, 190, and then you had the W123 was also built up till 1986 with the station wagon model. So you had like a 4-door saloon, a coupe, station wagon, a 4-door limo. They had a little bit longer back, but they had a small seat in it, and you had a longer limo version, and then you had the special versions. Also these cars could have an option like air conditioning and that sort of stuff. So if you look to the range of the almost 2.7 million cars that were built, 455,000 cars of the W123 were 240D cars, 240 diesels. So that's almost a fifth of all the cars were 240D. So the 240D you had, I thought you had it in, it was a 4-cylinder and a 5-cylinder, and I think you also had a 240D 5-cylinder diesel in it. So if I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments below. But these cars were built in petrol versions in a 4 and a 6-cylinder, so like this. This 230 and a 280. I think you also had a 2-liter 4-cylinder. And this is then a 2.3 is a 2.3, and a 2.8 is like more likely to be a 2.7 liter because it's 2746 cc's. And you had then the diesel versions. They were built in a 4 and a 5-cylinder. I think you had a 200D, 220D, 240D, and I think it was engine-wise, I'm not sure. I think it's a 2-liter 2.2 only, and a 3-liter 5-cylinder, but you also had a 3-liter turbo diesel, and that was I think 140 horsepower. So that's the same engine that was also in the 126. So these cars are still widely driven worldwide. For example, if you're taking a taxi in Africa, there's a very big chance they still drive these W123s because it's a very, very reliable car. They have, like in our wet countries and where we put like salt on the roads, they were rusting very, very bad. There are some spots on these cars. If you're going to look for a car like this, you really have to look at the underbody of these particular cars because they are really, for example, they're like 50 years old almost, so you really need to have a look into it. Because what I see in the brochure was pretty funny to me, because I also had the 230 carberator version for 5-6 years, and mine was has been restored and welded on a lot of it, and they're just rusting away in our climate. But in the books are standing they have rust protection, and they use 25 kilos of rust protection on these cars. It looks like they say it's 25 kilos of paint. I don't really think that is the case, but the underbody coatings and the wax they used in the chassis and the paint on the car is in the total is 25 kilos per car, so that's a lot. I don't think you need 25 kilos to paint a car. I think it's more like 5 kilos, but people that are make the profession of the paint can easily answer that more precise than I can do that. So, but I thought it was pretty funny. So, like, yeah, cruise control is pretty nice on these particular cars. Works like a vacuum unit on it. So, interior-wise, you had 4 versions of interior-wise. It's just the fabric. That's the standard version. Then you have Mercedes text. I think you find it a lot of in all taxis. Mercedes text is like fake leather. And then you have the leather version, just the real leather. And then you have this velours. I don't know if it's placed under the Pullman interior that they have like in the 126 versions, but it seats very good. But these are really the spring seats, so yeah, it's not my favorite seat, but yeah, for a car like on this age, it's very good. It's not like a 126 that quality, but it's yeah, very good. And these cars have also heat resistant windows in them. Also the mirrors are heat resistant, heat reflecting. Also the windows have that in this car, so it's driving really good. We also have a kick down, so these cars could accelerate from 0 to 100 in 9.9 seconds with a top speed of 200 kilometers an hour, what is 124 miles per hour. So I think that's in these days you could still drive them very good, because 185 horsepower in a 1450 kilo car is still very good. So beautiful. So I'm going to show you a little bit of the speedo from acceleration point and a little bit of a sound clip. I think that's nice to see in this particular car because it's fully original. So let's go. So 0 to 100, let's have a look how good this old beast can do. Pretty good, pretty normal acceleration, feels pretty good, very smooth engine, so very nice. So hope you like this video about this W123 CE. Very nice car, brings back a lot of memories because I spent a lot of time in these old W123s. They drive pretty good for what it is. It's just, in a coupe, it's just much more luxurious than just the normal 230 I had it back in the day. So 280 CE engine, nice 6-cylinder, have a good sound, drives very good, and this particular version has only done 60,000 kilometers. So have a look on the website of henkgrooten.nl. There is this particular car for sale. He also has diesel version for sale, W123. So I think a W123 diesel is a very nice classic. It's really what the W123 stands for, the old diesel cars. But this CE is also very nice with the open window styles. Just a beautiful car. You can also follow the link on my website, JMSpeedshop.com. The link is over here. You can find the other reviews I've done about particular cars and also the projects I'm doing. So have a look at my website to see more information about this particular car and the other projects. Don't forget to subscribe. Put a thumbs up. If you got any questions or comments, leave them below the video. I try to answer them all. And I see you for the next one. I'm going to enjoy the last kilometers in this beautiful example of a classic Mercedes. So, thanks for watching. Bye bye.